Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Interview Experience. I am Akriti, the verbal and selection coach here at Vair, and I have an experience of training students, working professionals for almost half a decade now in soft skill interview preparation and verbal ability. Today, we have an exceptionally dynamic candidate with us who is Ms. Deepanshi Sharma. She has the vision to change the healthcare industry completely, and which is why she had applied to the Symbiosis Institute of Health Sciences. And we are here to know everything about her experience. Welcome to this episode, Deepanshi.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for this amazing introduction. I am Dr. Deepanshi. I graduated almost 3 years ago, and I've been practicing since then as a dentist. And from the last 1 year, I was preparing for my MBA in healthcare sector. I was also working, and in the evenings, I was preparing for my entrance exams and mock interviews. I applied for only the Symbiosis University. I was interested there, and I got through the SIHS.
Oh, great!
I
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
And it's so good to see, like, being a dentist, having the opportunity to be there in the practical world. You are looking to get onto the management side. So, can you tell me, like, what made you think that I should go for this switch? I should move from the practical, the on-field part to the management side.
Ma'am, one thing that really uh, kind of attracted me was that this on-field, this management area is very dynamic. The field, I was doing monotonous work. I'm not saying it was boring, but it was kind of, I felt I was being restricted. And with management, I could do much more. I could use my communication skills, my thinking skills, which were not very helpful when I was doing my day-to-day dental work. And I feel a bigger change could be made being in management field.
Absolutely. So basically, what you meant is you wanted to get your expertise related to healthcare, to the field of management by because I think healthcare is a really, really specialized industry. So we need people who do understand the healthcare industry, who've been there, done that, who have seen the industry really, really close, so that it's easier for them once they have all the management related knowledge to bridge that gap that exists somewhere. So I would say that's a very brave step and. Right in the and you're going in the right direction, and we are so glad. So basically, Dipanshi, I want to know everything with regards to your SIHS selection process, like how right from the form filling to the PI, what kind of questions, how many panelists, how much time did you take, what was your experience like? So like tell us everything.
Firstly, I would begin from the entrance test. I did well, very well. I was not expecting. I got very good marks there, and I have be learned through my entire education process. I have joined many coaching institutes, and one thing I loved about Wire was the classes, the academic classes. I'm just talking about entrance here. I will tell about interview in the when
Right,
I
this
was
is about the aptitude training.
aptitude, and the content was so detailed. Matlab, the teachers used to break everything so nicely that everybody in the class was able to understand. But this one thing is one of the most unique thing I have seen in an institution, and I would say in the by community. The content, the practice questions, and the any when we had any doubts or anything related to uh, our entrance exam and the aptitude test was very much easily available for us. And every teacher was very sweet. They could ask quick questions as much times as we can, and there were practice in the class only where teachers used to point out our mistakes. So this is one thing that I really enjoyed. My favorite part of the day was the 2 hour class I had in the night. Uh, that is one of the highlight of my last year. So I really enjoyed the entrance, the aptitude part also. And the interview process, ma'am, your SMTs were like magic. It was like, again, the highlight of my Sunday. And it was not
Thank
just
you.
about the academics. It was about life overall. I have seen a visible change in my perception as a human since the day I've joined Vair community. And I'm being honest, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect. Everyone was saying that you'll see a lot of changes. I was sure that there will be changes academically, but personality wise, I think differently now. I think okay, so my purpose here is to serve. I actually think like this. I am not making this up. And this is very amazing. I think this is the reputation. Every week when we came in the class, it was a constant reminder to my mind that this is how you should think. And yeah, this was about the entrance and the interview overall. And one more thing, mock interviews are very important. I would like to say that many questions were repeated that were asked in the mock interview. The topics, you and Ekta ma'am told me that these are the topics that can be asked in the interview. They are high priority topics. They were asked, like telemedicine was my topic of group discussion, and I was very comfortable because I was very well prepared.
Okay, so let's go back a little. I really appreciate all that you shared right now because I'm sure it gives the future community members, and irrespective whether they are a part of the community or not the part of the community, but I think we have so much content online that even if they just consume that, it is going to help any aspirant. So, because you shared so much about your experience as a community member, I'm sure it will give them that encouragement to at least try and go through the content which is available online and learn from it, implement it, and get into their dream B schools, which is our vision and mission. But I want to know a little about what happened at the Symbiosis interview. So basically, you said you had a GD, you have an application form, and you had a PI, right? So I want to know everything. So share it with our community members or even our viewers that what exactly was the process, and then what were the questions that were asked, and then we'll go back to what was matching and the other strategies.
Yes, ma'am. So the application process, they asked for all our educational credentials and any co-curricular activities we were into, or we used any hobbies and our certifications. So I filed that very sincerely and genuinely, like what all things I've been doing from the past few years, what are my educational qualifications, and that was about the application process. And I had to write a bio sketch about myself, and I wrote about like a comprehensive holistic bio sketch where I included my professional and my personal and even the curricular activities also. And the interview, there were a lot of students in the interview. I was not expecting there were around 200 students, but they were managing it very well. I would The institute, there were many people who helped us to guide even through the Zoom call. It was an online interview, and I had a PI session and a GD session. So there were two panelists in my PI sessions, in my PI session, and two in my GD. And first few questions were about myself. I come from
We are talking
Punjab.
about the PI here. We are
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about PI. Yeah, start.
Yes, ma'am. So the first panelist asked me about myself, like what does name of the meaning of my name. So he took around 2 to 3 minutes just on my name, like where did it come from? Okay, so tell me more about your name. And I was able to answer that question. I was prepared for that. And secondly, he asked a lot of questions about my state. I am from Punjab, so he asked about the crops, the cultural dances, and the weather in Punjab, and how people there are living these days. So he asked a lot of
The
questions about.
geopolitical scenario, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And thirdly, he asked me why did I make this switch and why didn't I go for masters. So he was very interested in knowing specifically why didn't you choose MBA over MDS.
Why did you choose MBA over MTS? Yes.
Ma'am, I think that MDS. Firstly, I was
I think we
uh,
got it at the beginning when you mentioned. So I was there was a minor error where you said why did you choose MDS over MBA. So I was just, putting it out for our viewers that what you meant was why MBA over MBS. So we
Yes,
got
ma'am.
that at the beginning. I do understand your vision, and I think it's something that you really, really very well explained, because you made it very clear as to how you were feeling that you are probably contributing in only one field and restricting yourself to one field, and you wanted to take up a holistic and a broader approach, and you wanted to take your learning one step higher, but by going on to the management side. So completely on board with that. Great. So what were
Yes,
the
ma'am.
other questions, Dipanshi?
Yes, ma'am. The other panelist, the sir, he asked me about what field I would choose or what subjects I will choose when once I get into HIS. He also asked me about my I am a content writer, part-time content writer. He asked me a lot of questions about my content writing and the hobbies that I mentioned before, and what would I choose HR or would I choose operation, or would I choose which speciality would I choose
Specialization.
which when once I get into MBA. So and he also asked me about my daily routine as a dentist, like how did I manage to prepare for my exam and also practice in the morning and in the afternoon. So these were all, I would say a lot of questions were personal uh, rather than professional. Only 2 3 questions were about MBA, and rest 8 to 9 questions were about myself, about my state, how
So basically, your application form, where you're coming from, what you've done in the past, your academic qualifications. If I just round it up, it was
yes,
on this. So a person should know their application form in and out. Like I always say, your SOP or your application form becomes your question paper for the interview, right? So I think
yes, ma'am.
that's exactly what happened with you. Great. So that was about PI. Tell us a little about GD. How many participants were there? How long did it go for? How much prep time did you get? And what was the topic?
Ma'am, the in, there were two panelists in the GD, and they specially mentioned that this is the largest group of our discussion today. We were around 12 to 15 students in the group discussion,
Yes.
and the topic was telemedicine, pros and cons. And they gave us around 1 minute to prepare, 2 minutes to prepare on the topic and write the pointers, pros and the cons. And they mentioned very clearly that you have to give everybody a chance to speak. You are not allowed to interrupt each other because there are a lot of students. And I I like as you said, like you have to make your first entry within the first 3 to 4 minutes. So I just reminded this to myself the night before, even starting before the GD was big the began before GD began, and I made my first entry within the first 3 minutes. After that, immediately two students, they were repeatedly saying, giving their entries. So panelist, he stopped in between, and he told that you are not allowed to do that. Just say, give your entry once, and wait for the other student who has not spoken before. We have to give everybody a chance. And he was being very appreciative of those students who gave chances to others also to speak.
Great.
So this is one
That's
new thing.
actually very great.
This is, yeah, exactly. So I was not expecting this. I was expecting that
Right.
everybody will be very aggressive, and I would not have a chance to speak. So I have to be aggressive. But it kind of helped me because I spoke in the first 3 minutes, and then I was relieved. I was uh, listening clearly to what others are saying, and
Right.
even
It's very important because a lot of people think that only speaking in a GD is important, but you yourself were there and you do understand the importance of listening in a GD as well. It's a group discussion, not a debate. So I'm so glad you brought that point up.
yes, ma'am. Sir also mentioned those students who were repeatedly speaking and being aggressive. He was mentioning that please give this person chance. These three students haven't spoken. Let's give them chance. Let's hear their viewpoints. He clearly mentioned that if somebody is not shouting or is not aggressive, it does not mean that he or she doesn't has a good point. We have to listen to what the idea the person has to share. So it was a very peaceful and open discussion to what I was very different from what I was thinking, that it will be very aggressive and I wouldn't won't get a chance to speak. So it was a very good experience of discussion. I was happy in the end of the discussion.
So, Dipanshi, you were happy with your application form, you were happy with your interview, you were happy with your GD, which happens with a very few bunch of students, right? So, you were one of those. And can you tell us, like, your top three strategies to be so calm, be so good with it, be so confident of the fact that you applied to only one B school and you got selected there? You were so sure of your choice. So, can you share your top three strategies with the future aspirants who are viewers?
Ma'am, yeah. One thing that works for me is being prepared, being very well prepared for whatever you are going to do in your life. It could be anything. You have to plan and
I want to know
prepare.
your preparation strategy. That's
Yes, ma'am.
exactly. So obviously you were well prepared and that is why you cracked it. I want to know your preparation strategy कि मैंने A B C किया उससे मेरी preparation पूरा rounded up थी और इसलिए मेरा selection हुआ और मेरा interview इतना अच्छा गया.
Yes, ma'am. So the first thing is know your institute. Whatever institute or your college you're applying for, know it through and through. Like I used to go to their website every week, read what SIH is about. I used to watch videos of the alumni and how the institute works, what are they teaching, what they're expecting the students to have. So
I
when
absolutely
one
agree with you on that, Dipanshi, because it's very, very important to do a thorough research on the institute that you are preparing for. And plus, I remember reviewing your application form, your bio sketch a number of times. So I do remember that every time you would actually make a change and you would actually do a research. Like, when you started your prep journey and when I used to receive your bio sketches after like reviewing it, after the feedback you would have incorporated, it was actually changed and it showed that you are putting in that effort and you're putting in that research to come up with some unique points.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, strategy number two.
And the number two strategy is make and take the use of technology, take help of AI. It is very, I would say, very crucial. uh, I think AI is helping humans to be more efficient. I am not a strong believer that it can replace every human touch or
Absolutely. So use it as an aid, do not be dependent on it. Right?
yes, ma'am. And it really helped me because the kind of research needs information and AI helps you with the information. So I
Correct.
used to list down all the topics. I had a big bundle of papers printed out which had topics which could be
Wow.
asked in interview. So I used to read them, I learned them, I crammed those topics so that I don't feel that I don't have content to speak about. For
Wow.
example, very well prepared about telemedicine. I had uh, a big page of on telemedicine which I read what is telemedicine. Like definition of things should be clear to you. Uh,
Right.
it should not be like
I
that.
mean, that's a gold mine of information, and I think it brought out your content creator wala part, right? Content
Yes,
writer wala part, because you were like too much into writing and learning information. Because I'm also very much into like old school writing down, cramming the words. Not cramming exactly now. पहले cramming होता था, but अब ऐसा हो गया कि I have to write down to remember things. So it helps me with greater retention of information like for a longer time. So that's I mean, that document I wanted, Dipanshi. It's a gold mine of information, I guess.
yeah, yes, ma'am. Also AI helps you to figure out the questions that can be asked. Once that
Yeah,
you have read the topic, just search what are the top 20 questions that are common in every interview, it be IIMs or any other management.
absolutely.
There are some basic 10 to 12 questions which are common, and still we are not prepared for those questions. We mess it up. I used to mess basic questions in mock interviews, basic questions. So I realized that I really need to write the answer, make the answer, and learn it. So this is the because
You
I
connect with it and learn it. Like once you connect with those answers, when it is your answer. If you pick
yes,
up an answer off the internet, or if you pick up the answer that AI has generated, but you don't connect with it, then no matter how many times you learn it, you'll not be able to deliver it.
yes,
So
ma'am.
while you're writing those answers, while you're making your own version, while using AI as a tool, it's also very important for you to connect with those answers to deliver it in a most organic way.
Yes, ma'am. You have to. sell your story through those answers. So that is why I'm saying write your own answers and then learn your answers, because sometimes you tell things to yourself but you're not able to communicate those. So once you write, there's this whole circle, the circuits is complete, and now you can able to deliver what you were trying to say. So
Great point.
yes. And
Strategy 3.
the third strategy is ask give as many as mock interviews you can give, because you will make mistakes. There is no such thing that perfection is not there. You can mess up basic questions, because I everybody tries their best, but there sometimes you haven't thought it through. So this one specific thing could have a different perspective from the point of view of a panelist, which you're not able to think. So your teachers will help you there. So they'll point out your mistakes. Because I was I was making same mistakes. So I was not able to figure it out on my own. But when I gave mock interviews, I realized that this is the area I need to work on. My why was not clear. It was clear in my heart, in my head, but I was not able to communicate my why I'm not doing MDS, why I'm going for MBA. So it takes time. It takes a lot of critical thinking skills, and you figure out why your whys, and then you write your
Think
answers. And
since you brought this up, Dipanshi, uh, a lot of students think, this brings me to my next question, because you've already discussed the strategy in a very, very comprehensive manner. So it's very crisp for our viewers to know. I want to understand, like, a lot of viewers think that, इंटरव्यू के लिए एग्जाम्स के बाद ही प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए. एक बार कैट क्लियर हो गया, एक बार स्नैप क्लियर हो गया, उसके बाद हम इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपेयर करेंगे, बहुत टाइम होता है. Do you think your preparation, if you would have started with your preparation after your marks, after coming to know about the interview date, it would have helped you? Or do you think that starting in advance, preparation in advance helped you? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
ma'am, starting in writing is mandatory. I mean, I begin by saying that I saw a complete personality change. So this personality change helped me to do these things which I done. It helped me in my preparation. If I was not starting in advance, if my personality was not changed, if my thought process didn't change, I would have not been able to do these things. I would be shy. Won't be I wouldn't be appearing for many mock interviews. Would have not used AI. I would be very overconfident ki, yeah, I'll see, I know. But the point is, when you know, but you are not able to speak because you don't have practice. You need practice. You need a better thought process. So start in advance, work on yourself. uh, I think we all, like for example, we all have hobbies, but if we don't work on those hobbies, they're useless. So you have to start working in advance so that you become a perfectionist. You become perfect in that. Practice is essential for anything that we do in life. So if you start in advance, that is the only way you can practice. I
Very
don't
well
think,
said.
ma'am, I have given an interview. It was a unrelated interview. In my college, and I prepared after I cleared the entrance test. And when I went in the interview, I was shocked, I was numbed. In the group discussion, I was completely shut down, because it was new for me. And I thought I will do, there's nothing in group discussion, I have to just talk about my viewpoints. But I was not able to do that. I was completely frozen and numb. So I made sure that I start in advance. I practice. I am used to the kind of environment I'll get in the interview, and which I got in the community. Everybody was well, even my batchmates. Everybody is so perfect. You feel that okay, there's so much to learn from my batchmate, my
Yes.
colleague, my batch peers. So you have. I think starting in advance is very essential.
That's very well said, Dipanshi, because I have for myself witnessed that there has been a massive transformation. So we also believe in transformation as one of the key pillars in terms of knowledge, skills, and attitude. And I have seen that you were very camera shy at the beginning, for example. Then you started coming on camera, but you were like always on mute, and you would be like, you would be active, you would respond on the chat box, but you would never speak, speak to me or your peers. Towards the, when we started approaching the CAT exam, November, December, you started opening up, you started discussing, and then there were a few weeks in the row where I remember that you would volunteer to speak for the transformation story, speak for your experience, participate, and then also about the Balbon moment. So that I could see a complete transformation, but yes, that transformation requires preparation and it requires consistency, definitely, which was definitely there. So, Dipanshi, like, how do you think, in if you have to sum up everything in like just 2 lines, how did the Vair community and SMT sessions specifically help you with this transformation?
Ma'am, number one thing that I would like to bring here is listening to your teachers, your coaches is very important. It is. I can stress it as much as as it's possible. We Our coaches are like experts. We have to learn from them. We have to stay near them. We have to talk to them so that you can grow as a person, as a whole person. And SMT sections, the whole community, it helped me to change the way I think. When I was here, I was a very different person. I just feel as if I've grown older. I've become more wiser. I take care of like in SMT sections, we talked about everything, a small, like every small positive, when it adds up, it becomes a big positive, and that big positive changes your life. So this is one thing that I gained through SMT sections and the Wire community. I was more aware of how I have to behave in my family. I have to respect my parents. This is a basic thing, but when we are growing up, when we are in college, we forget this thing, that they are also humans, they're also trying their best. Why community somehow instilled that back in me, that you have to take care of your parents, know what their needs. You have to look at society and think like, I have to serve. I'm here to serve. I'm not here to just time pass and live my life like that. And it basically after every SMT section, it was like a meditation. For those 2 hours, I had no other thought. I was completely in the class, and after class, my mind was, I had zero thoughts, and I felt a mental clarity. Okay, so this is how I should be. But as the week passed, again thoughts would add up, and the next in the next week, in the same SMT section, again all the thoughts would vanish, and a sense of clarity would get into me. So
I'm so glad I could help in this, because you sometimes do not understand that what is the student thinking, what is the aspirant, what is going on. That is why it's so important for us to have this kind of discussion, because like you said, that every small positive brings adds up to a huge positive shift, and that is something that I could actually witness. But I could not really, I could not gauge it, because by the end, all of you are, going for different exams, all of you are going for different interviews, so it becomes very difficult to sort of get in touch again or gauge the kind of transformation that each one of you have had. So I'm so glad that the Sunday SMTs where I have been, giving motivational talk and talking about life, and the other sessions that you people have been having, whether it's the hackathons or the LCCs or even the aptitude training, where I think what you spoke about was reinforcing the value system, which somewhere gets lost in our journey of growing up, in our journey of transformation. But at Wire, we believe in reinforcing these values so that you grow faster and you grow for a much longer period of time. So I
yeah.
think that is what sums up our conversation in the best way possible. So get your values back, reinforce your values, be prepared, plan in advance, and obviously give a lot of mocks and the kind of content journal that you've created, you spoke about. I think it's a gold mine of information. So with consistency, with constant efforts, and with discipline, because you said you listen to your coaches, you be connected with them, anyone can crack their dream institute, and that is what you and I together wish for all the future aspirants and all our viewers. So thank you so much, Dipanshi, for so generously giving your time and being a part of this interview experience. And I hope that you get. This journey starts, the new journey you're going to embark on. It's on another high altogether. So, all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.